For being here today, we have to understand the evil nature of the Quran that will be taught in this mosque in Penrith. The Quran is the most evil book that's ever been written in the history of the world. The Quran commands killing non-Muslims. I want to ask the question to the Mayor and the members of Penrith Council, have you read the Quran all the way through? No. No, they have not. Have they written out the murderous, terror, killing passages in the Quran? No, they have not. They are ignorant. They know nothing about the terrorism that the Quran commands Muslims to commit. If the Muslim wants to go to paradise, he must go to Jihad and kill Australians and others, Jews, apostates and Christians. If he does not go to Jihad, the Muslim will go to hell. That is a motive to kill non-Muslims, as they are doing everywhere in the world today. Manchester. Wonder why he killed them, blew up 8 little girls, because he has the Quran in his brain. Listen to the Quran, my friends, and get yourself an Islamic education and see how evil this book is. This will be taught to little children in the schools who have no discernment and who cannot see that it's a load of garbage. Here it says, fighting, Surah 2 verse 216, fighting is obligatory for you, much as you dislike it. It says, those who fought or were slain for my cause, I shall forgive their sins and admit them to gardens, watered by running streams, as a reward from Allah. 3 verse 195. 4 verse 84, fight for the cause of Allah. That's what they'll be teaching little children in this Penrith Mosque. Shame. It says 9 verse 29, fight against such as whom the scriptures were given, who believe neither in Allah. That's what they will be teaching their little children, to fight people who don't believe in Allah and who believe the scriptures. 9:39 of the Quran, if you do not go to war, Allah will punish you severely. Come on, that's rubbish. Oh, this is insane. And it says here, there's about 160 quotes in the Quran that command Muslims to kill Jews, Christians, apostates and infidels. This is what they'll be teaching these little children, and they will be the ones who will be killing non-Muslims as their ticket to paradise. Give us a break. What are you doing? Has the council thought about the consequences for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years of this? How many tens of thousands of people will be brainwashed to think they must commit killing and terror as their ticket to paradise, when the Quran is just such an unscientific, false book? I want to ask you a question to see if you have if the councillors have the education to see that the Quran is an unscientific book. You know how the sun rises in the east and sets in the west? Do you think the sun sets in a spring of black, muddy, hot water? No, it does not. But in Muhammad's time, nobody knew where the sun went. Muhammad said, "I am a prophet of Allah." People said, "Really? Okay, if you prophet of Allah, you tell us where the sun goes every afternoon." And Muhammad had two choices. Choice one, he could say, "I do not know where the sun goes." People would say, "That makes you a false prophet, you go to hell." He did not want people thinking that. So instead he guessed. And he said in Surah 18, verses 86, verse 84 to 86, about Zulkarnain following a road until he reached the setting place of the sun, and he found it setting in a spring of black, muddy, hot water. So it was. Mr. Muslim, Mr. Councillor, Mr. Mosque Imam, please tell me, where is the setting place of the sun? Does the sun set in Penrith Council? Does the sun set in your toilet? Where is the spring of black, muddy, hot water that the sun sets in? My friends, there's no such place. There is no place, no spring of water where the sun sets in. This is a very, very big mistake in the Quran. This proves four things. It proves, number one, that the Quran is a false, fake, lying book that should not be taught to any children. Number two, it proves Muhammad is a false, fake, lying prophet. And he should be seen as such in the eyes of educated people. Number three, it shows that Allah is a false, fake, lying God, because the true God would not say something stupid like that. And number three, it proves Islam is a false, fake, lying religion. And you can throw the whole lot of Muhammad, Quran, Allah and Islam in the rubbish tin and have a happy life. Amen? Amen. Why do you think people are leaving Muslim countries to come here? Because they have been oppressed by Islamic dictatorships. They have been raped. They have been tortured. They have been forced to believe this rubbish. And they've lost their peace, their freedom, their prosperity. And that is what will happen in Australia. And Penrith, if you let them get a toehold to teach this rubbish. I want to suggest the councillor, mayor, get the Muslims to sign a piece of paper that they completely, 100% reject every killing passage in the Quran. As not from God, as not applicable for today, as false, as to be completely 100% rejected as from Satan. Will they sign that paper? No. Well, in that case, don't let them have a mosque. Send them back to where they want it. They go to Saudi Arabia, where they can be under the control of the Quran. Another question for you. What was Muhammad's father's name? Abdullah. What does Abdullah mean? Slave of Allah. What was Muhammad's grandfather's name? Abdul Muttalib. He was an idol worshipper. He worshipped 360 idols in the Kaaba all his life, never became Muslim. When his son was born, he said, "What name will I call my son?" He said, "I know, I will call him Abdullah," meaning slave of my favourite idol, Allah. Whoa! This proves that Allah was an idol, known, loved and worshipped by the pre-Islamic Arabs. Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Muslim, is it right to borrow your God from an idol? No, you don't borrow your God from an idol. But that's what Muhammad did, but it sure helped idol worshippers become Muslims. You don't borrow your God from an idol. The Bible, God is Jehovah, never Allah. Allah commands killing non-Muslims. It's incompatible. There's so many incompatible ideas in the Quran that it's insane to teach any children this rubbish. What about the other three men who'll never have a wife? Shame! Oh, shame. Shame! Allah permits rape of non-Muslim women because they don't have hijab, as in Europe. Female genital mutilation was taught by Muhammad. He said to the female excisers, yes, FGM is allowed, provided you don't do it too much. So he taught her how to do it. Whipping fornicators, pedophilia. There's young boys of their own, fair as virgin pearls, 52:24. Crucifixion, those warring against Allah, kill them or crucify them, 533. Cutting off hands and feet, 533. Inequality of minimum, stoning of adulterers. Islamic call for prayer at 5:30 in the morning when you're trying to get a wink of sleep. Anti-Semitism. People of the unbelievers among the people are the vilest of all creatures, 98 verse 6. What about vilification? Let's apply vilification laws to the Quran, saying Christians and Jews are vilest of all creatures, eh? They ought to be stopped having a mosque because they teach vilification. I'm not against the Muslim, I'm against the Quran. That's what turns a peaceful person into a terrorist. If you let us deprogram the Muslim, they'll become a peaceful person. But the Muslims and the councillors haven't got the first clue how to deprogram a Muslim into a peaceful person, and that's brainwashing young people with Quran, seeking to destroy all other religions, 933. True faith to make it triumphant over all religions, killing ex-Muslims, 4 verse 89. If they desert you, seize them, put them to death wherever you find them. What a nightmare. Those councillors ought to be sacked for allowing this garbage to be taught in a Penrith mosque. We don't want it. If they want a mosque, go back to Saudi Arabia and they can chop heads off as much as they want. They can go to Daesh, join Daesh, but not in Australia. We've had a peaceful Christian heritage for 230 odd years, and now we're going to lose it. And you and our children and grandchildren will be the victims of Islamic terror when the mosques has been taught this. Can you get the imams in the mosque to promise they will never teach any terror and killing in the Quran? No, they'll never promise that. They will be teaching that every day to all of their kids. The mayor has to be off his brain to let this mosque in. What if it was his kids who were killed? What if it was his daughter who was raped, as happened in Europe? What if it was him who had his head chopped off by the Muslims? Is that a good thing or bad thing to cut your head off? That's a bad thing. Come on. Let's appreciate our Western Christian values and let's reject these evil, satanic, insane Muslim Quran ideas. We need a bit of courage. We need a bit of education. We need to educate these mayor and the councillors who haven't got a clue and who don't care, and they're more concerned about not offending and pacifying, like Neville Chamberlain. Look what happened to pacifists like Neville Chamberlain, amen? Amen. This is a very big problem. This is not a little problem. This is an enormous problem. Maybe we ought to ask the councillor, the mayor, can we set up a school to teach killing of other Australians? He would say, no way. Well, let's apply that same rule to the mosque. Okay? This is a very serious problem. Use your brain, look into the future, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. What will Penrith be like? It'll be the terror central of Sydney. Children and grandchildren with this kind of culture? No way. We protect our freedoms, protect our peace, and protect ourselves from this evil poison. We've had 1,400 years to see the fruits of Islam. Islam killed 100 million Africans in the slave trades of Africa. They sold slaves to America, but why are there no black people in Middle East? Because they castrated them all and killed them. Correct. If they had babies. They killed about 130 million Indians in their 1,400 years. They invaded North Africa. They invaded Europe. If it wasn't for Charles Martel in 740, who stood up against them, Europe would have been a Muslim caliphate. You've got to have the guts to stand up against this evil, horror, nightmare that's seeking to get a toe in the door. When they get the toe in the door, then they'll spread their poison like what they've done in Parramatta Mosque with that young 16-year-old boy, Farhad Jabbar, shooting Curtis Cheng on 2nd of October 2015. And Man Monist taking hostages and killing people on 15th of December 2014. This is just the beginning of sorrows. You ain't seen nothing yet if you let this mosque get started. Shut it, don't let it start.